Eyepoke's head jokes.
Welcome back to episode 2. I almost keep saying 1. It's 214 of Eye Pokes and Head Chokes. It's your boy, Mr. Alex, and Mr. Kula on the other end laughing at me because I always forget everything. We're here to... I don't know if it's going to be a relatively quick episode. I can't, really talk to say that it will be because even though, we're not a media and like a music, television, this and that, like that's not our main focus. But there's shit to talk about. So we're gonna talk about this week is the ending of New Japan Cup. So we're gonna talk about the quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals. Who won? Unfortunately, I'm not gonna lie, because of what we're gonna talk about towards the end of this came out, and I kept replaying that shit and watching it. I did not watch New Japan. So So we're gonna talk about that first, and we're gonna talk about Fastlane, WWE Fastlane that happened last night on pay-per-view, and as they moved over to Peacock finally. So that was something new. So it was interesting. It was a decent pay-per-view. We'll get back to that, and we're gonna talk about any AEW or any randomness that we found throughout the week that have happened.
Did you find
AEW, NWA. I did find one thing that I sent, but you had already sent it, so I found one thing on top of what you sent last night after Fastlane. So it counts because it adds to it. That's a big fucking news, dude. And then after that, what we're talking about, that's gonna be one of our main talking points. Which, if you don't want to hear about it, you cut it off like around the half-hour mark if you want to. Probably, I'll tell you when. I'll tell you when we're done with wrestling. But there is gonna be a discussion about Zack Snyder's Justice League that came out on March 18th. So we'll let you know when we're done with the wrestling. If you want to stay around for that, definitely stay around for that. We hope you would, and we hope you have the same things. But let's just move on to the main squeeze right now. So New Japan Cup. Gonna run through the quarterfinals real quick. So we had Evil versus Toriano. Evil won that match to move on to the semifinals. After that, we had Shingo Takagi versus Kenta. Shingo Takagi won that to match up against Evil. After that, on the other side, we had Will Ospreay defeating Sonata in the other quarterfinal match to move up to the semifinals. After that, we had David Finlay defeating Jay White to move to the semifinals as well. What the fuck happened with Jay White?
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Like,
I didn't really get to see it because I was waiting for the English version, and weirdly enough, the English version for that card is not
never came up. Okay,
but the other two after are up.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, with that, moving on to the semifinals, we had Evil versus Kenta. And Kenta ended up winning. No, sorry, Shingo ended up winning that match. So Shingo moved on to the finals. On the other side, we had Will Ospreay defeating David Finlay. I mean, good for David Finlay showing out, getting to the semis. That's a pretty big fucking deal. So Will Ospreay defeated David Finlay to move on to the finals against Shingo Takagi. And then after that, you had Will Ospreay and Shingo Takagi. Will Ospreay ended up winning the New Japan Cup, so now he has the rights to go up against the unified champ, Ibushi. I'm just annoyed.
He looked so sad.
No, yeah.
No one likes him anymore.
Yeah, because it's like, why would you unify the titles, dummy? But whatever.
He looks.
No, I like him, but it's just like you just made a stupid decision. We have Will Ospreay versus as the current Genesis, we're gonna have Will Ospreay versus challenging for the belt against Ibushi. That's gonna be a hell of a match. That one I cannot miss. That's the pay-per-view I was supposed to go to. But I will watch it, obviously, for obvious reasons. It's a big pay-per-view, obviously, so it's their first major one after Wrestle Kingdom, so it's definitely one to watch, and that should be when is
April 4th.
April 4th. Okay, so in 2 weeks, so that should be good. Oh, and we have to film that day too. I'm gonna be tired.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you can relax and watch it.
I guess.
You're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna fall asleep on it.
Nah, I mean, I haven't done that since Wrestle Kingdom, so well, whatever. But that was New Japan. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that match. Honestly speaking,
David Finlay,
it's gonna be a really good match.
He's looking really good.
He is absolutely looking really, really good. I mean, to beat Jay White, like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was with cheatsy doodles. I don't know if it was anything else, but for sure.
I saw some of it. I didn't see the whole thing, so I don't want to spoil it for you because I can't because I really don't remember. I fell asleep on it. I was like in and out while I was watching it, but yeah,
all right.
It's a good match, and there's a lot of storytelling behind it. You know, Kevin Kelly's like, oh, they haven't had a match in about 3 years. I'm like, wow, that's where Jay White has been.
Yeah, exactly. So like if he's been at that top level, I mean, and it's good to see David Finlay move up to that sort of top level. If you're getting to the semis of pretty big fucking cup tournament, like that's a pretty big deal. So that's good on him for getting that far. I fully expected Jay White to at least make it to the finals. But you know,
I was too.
You know, like I expected it to be Ospreay. I understand Ospreay defeating Jay White at the semis. If that would have happened, I would have understood that. Like, okay, it's Will Ospreay. Like, that makes sense. But the fact that, you know, Jay White lost at the quarters, it was just like, me just seeing that now, I'm like, what's going on? So, but I mean, it might make his storyline more interesting, maybe.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
And if it doesn't make it good for him, that's actually a one-up for David Finlay too. So
yeah, maybe they could have a fucking rivalry going forward because he actually beat him. And
they were young lions at the same exact time.
Exactly. So there's always storyline.
Yeah.
You know, it's fucking Japan. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for New Japan. So we're gonna move on to WWE Fastlane pay-per-view. Happened last night.
Yeah, it was a short pay-per-view.
It was a relatively short pay-per-view. I'm happy when you have a short pay-per-view when you need to get right down to it. Honestly speaking, for me, I'm like, why are you still having commercials for? I mean, you have to have your commercial for WrestleMania. I get it. I understand that.
As a reminder.
But at the same time, it's like, what the fuck? And I also didn't know that it was gonna actually have limited attendance. So I'm like, motherfucker, I'd have bought tickets.
Yeah,
I would have bought tickets. I would have went to Tampa.
I forgot to say on the podcast last week.
Oh yeah, that's something that you text the group like, "Yo, they're gonna have in-person attendance." Like,
I don't know why we text the group.
Did you, or you know, text it directly or whatever? But either way,
yeah.
But that would have been dope. I'd have been like Tampa for the weekend just for that and come back and not tell my job. I'd have been like, yeah, that would have been, I was in Long Island. But anyways, no, it would have been dope to go to because it's the first WWE event like live in a long time, and obviously you want to do that for WrestleMania. Obviously everybody that's probably gonna go is gonna have to get tested and this and that and show negative results and whatnot. But no, that's cool. When I saw that, I was just like, oh shit, that's dope. Fuck, why didn't I know? So yeah, but overall it was a decent thing. So we're gonna run through the matches. So in the pre-show we had the United States Championship match, Riddle defeating Mustafa Ali. After that, to start the show, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Nia and Shayna retained the titles over dysfunctional Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, which we knew was going to happen. Intercontinental Championship match, you had Big E versus Apollo Crews. Big E retained over a botched pinfall thingy, whatever the fuck happened there. I don't remember what happened, but he retained. We'll get back to that. Yeah. Braun Strowman versus Elias. He was supposed to go up against Shane O'Mac, but he got hurt during thingy. So Braun Strowman demolished him and won via pinfall. After that, we had Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamuras. Seth Rollins defeated Shinsuke Nakamura via pinfall, which I heard was a decent match. I didn't really watch it. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was researching.
It was good.
I heard it was good. I heard it was good overall. Yeah. After that, we had Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus in a no holds bar match, which is I liked that match. It was good. I had fun. They were fucking each other up. They were both.
It was the match of the night.
Yeah, it was UK animosity towards each other. And best friend animosity towards each other and stuff. So, like, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Drew was Braveheart.
I think, yeah. And I think, honestly, they both got hurt at one point because Drew McIntyre, when he was trying to do his thing, like, at the top of the WrestleMania, like with the WrestleMania thing in the background. Like he saw him like grab his back, so he might have gotten hurt. Sheamus, when he put him through the table, when he did the white noise through the table, through the announcer's table, it just looked like he got hurt. Like he was holding his glutes, lower back area, like a lot. So I was just like, oh shit, they probably both really took it. And that's like a lot of poundage on, falling like that. After that, we had Randy Orton versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss defeated Randy Orton via pinfall. She's fucking creepy, and I like it.
You didn't like it at first?
No, I'll explain why. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
Go back to it. And then after that, we had the Universal Championship match, which I had it on. I started watching it, and I don't know why I didn't finish watching it.
What match is this?
The Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan.
I
heard it was a really good match from everything that I overall heard. Like I have no idea why I didn't keep watching it. I think I went to go use the bathroom, and then I just started doing something else afterwards. Like I think I went to the kitchen and just started researching different shit, and I was just like, oh. And then when I came back, the shit was done, and I was just like,
is Daniel Bryan wrestling repellent for you?
No, because I watch his matches. I've watched all his other matches. I just don't know what happened. Like my brain just turned off.
Not last night. Not Daniel and Roman.
But I said it was gonna be a good match. That's the thing. I said he's gonna put on a performance. I said I will watch it, and that's why I wanted to watch it, because I knew he was gonna put on a performance, especially against Roman Reigns. And when he puts that storyline up, saying like, "Oh, it might be my last chance," I'm gonna be like, yes. But either way, like. I knew it was gonna be a good match, and I just don't know what happened that I didn't go back to watch it. It's like it's a real weird thing trying to think about it. Like, why didn't I go back to watch it right after I used the bathroom? And I wasn't using the bathroom for that long either, so I was just like,
you fell in that shit.
I'm just like, was I really researching stocks that much last night? Is that what I was doing?
Yes, apparently. Well,
and then afterwards, like I just put the Office on.
The match was 30 minutes too.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. I'm like, okay, so I saw the first 5 minutes. No, I didn't even see the first 5. I saw them enter the ring. I saw everybody enter the ring. I was like, oh, let me go use the bathroom real quick. And then I think I had it on. I just wasn't paying attention at all. Then I came back. Then I left, and I came back. I don't know. I should go watch it, because on all accounts, I heard it was really good. The last 3 matches.
It is a good match. It was just weird and odd being placed after that other match, and which I would expect would be the good placement for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was the problem. It might have been, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. I don't know. It just felt like it was supposed to be a longer night, even though it wasn't. And
I think I was mainly surprised by how fast it finished, to be quite honest with you, because
this is 7 matches in 2 hours.
It wasn't 2.5. A lot of the matches were short. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, they were all short. Roman versus Daniel Bryan was the longest match.
Coming like that, man. Fuck it. But either way, like, because remember we used to have pay-per-views this long before. Why not? Continue in that fashion. Not everything has to be a 5-hour extravaganza. So
this was
unless
good.
It's Mania, obviously. Like that's really the only exception. Fucking 2 days again, man.
2 days of 7 hours each.
Fuck. Anyways, that's in what, 3 weeks? So but I think overall, like, if it wasn't for the last 4 matches, I don't think it would have been a really good pay-per-view. So they front-loaded it with relatively shit matches, and then they back-loaded it, like ended it with really good matches on the bounce. So one thing I wanted to talk about, which I was kind of like talking about yesterday.
Talk about dog.
And it's just real quick. It comes to what's his name? This dude, Apollo Crews.
Let's get into the accent.
I'm okay. I'm 100% okay. Actually, I encourage and I promote, I support people promoting their heritage. People really going in and promoting their heritage and saying, hey, I'm Nigerian or I'm Salvadoran or whatever. Like, this is my people, this is whatever. like, go for it. 100%. That's who you are. That's where, if that's legit where you come from, and that's like your actual culture and your line, please do. Promote that shit as much as possible, especially, you know, with the history behind it and all the things that happened last year and things that still continue to happen. Like, go for it, 100%. Where I do start having an issue is where you automatically have a accent literally out of nowhere. Now, if that is indeed your 100% real voice when you talk, and you've been an actor the whole time,
yeah,
then okay. But if now you're just putting on a Nigerian accent just because you decided to finally embrace your heritage, I can't say I'm really bothered, but it's like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't you just talk like this before? Because when they did the same thing technically with Kofi Kingston. Like, he was backwards. But backwards. But that's the thing. When Kofi Kingston started talking about, like, you know, his heritage from Ghana and, you know, coming from there and whatever, and him visiting with the WWE Championship and all that stuff, he didn't switch to a fucking Ghanaian accent with English. No. First of all, they said he was from Kingston, Jamaica.
Which,
to begin with.
So it's not even the same.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't have heritage from there. He might, and that's probably what they did.
No, like, he does.
Absolutely. So that in itself, that's fine. But he never, you know, did he have a Jamaican accent then? I don't remember.
Oh, I'm not even talking about Kofi.
No, but I'm saying, did he have a Jamaican accent at one point?
He played with a Jamaican accent. Remember, he broke it?
Okay, and that's fine. That's fine, okay? Because like, if you start off with that and then break into regular English, it's like an evolution of, okay, like, you know, he's getting more mainlined within the U.S. or he's like adapting to the culture. And I'll give that a pass because it makes sense. Because people do lose their accents over time, you know, given time in the country. But for you to say all of a sudden, that's what you sound like, and I obviously don't want to mimic the fucking thing because that's a different story altogether, and I won't.
Do it.
But like I said, I told you on the group chat, like, I can do the accent if I really wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, and that's my issue with the thing.
Yeah.
Besides that, celebrate your heritage 100%. Promote that shit. Go for it.
You know what I think
all
happened?
The time. It's just like, why out of nowhere are you a Nigerian warrior with not a random accent? Because if that's really your accent, if that's really how you talk, fine. If that's how you talk in the back all the time, fine.
I don't know if you remember, but before he actually got signed to WWE in the Indies, he was going by Uwa Nation.
Okay, I don't remember. So if that's the case, then fine.
Yeah, like, honestly, he signed in 2015, so we didn't really see any of his...
If I could see a video pre-2015 and he has that accent, I'll shut the fuck up, and that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that would make sense. I would be like, okay.
This is what I think happened. I think he was on his phone with the family one day, and they just heard him talking, and he went back and forth with the language between broken English and not. So... like, that's what I think happened. Somebody just overheard. You know how, like, when you get on the phone with your mom, you start talking Spanish, strong, like your accent comes out, right? I think that's what happened. I think he was back in catering or something, and somebody just heard him over talking.
And somebody was like, use that shit.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
If that's the case too, like I said, if he, this is the thing. I'll be incredibly honest with you. I've seen things with Usman and whatever. He's Nigerian. He speaks regular English. He sounds like us. But when he's talking to his parents, like you said, when he's talking to his parents, when he's talking to family, the accent does come out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've seen it. Like, there's certain times where it shifts back and forth. So if that's the case, if he has both accents and he's used both accents in certain manners, then I'm done. I have nothing to complain about. But if out of nowhere, exactly. That's the thing. But if out of nowhere, I'm just saying, if out of nowhere Vince came and said, use a Nigerian accent, then that's
I'd rather that than giving Kofi a whole different origin story and it changing and it breaking. Like
I guess for me the whole thing is just it threw me for a loop. I was like, what the fuck? When I was watching the promo, I was like,
yeah. Like 2 weeks ago, I saw it and I'm like, whoa. Okay,
yeah, I'm like, okay, but again,
like
if that's the case,
but I don't know where that accent came from.
And that's my whole thing. It's like, and if that's the case, Apollo, if you somehow see this, and the case is that you do have both accents, and like when you speak to your family or parents or whatever, like if that's the case, my bad, because I know. But if it's something else, I'm just gonna look at you like, bro, like whatever. Yeah. But I digress. That's pretty much it. So,
as a New Yorker, that's what happens. And I don't know. I'm just...
And I started factoring that in afterwards. I was like... Because I work with people that, are origin from Africa as well. From fucking... from Ghana, from...
Yeah, it's New York.
From a lot of Western Africa. Yeah, exactly. So it's like... sometimes you could hear regular American English. And other times when they say certain...
No accent. With just the New York accent.
That's what I'm saying. And then certain times... when they're speaking to somebody else from West Africa, from wherever they're from, like you'll hear the cracks in the accent, and I'll be like, "Oh, okay." Yeah. So if you're just playing off of that, and that's what's happening.
When we were in New Orleans, we didn't hear too much Creole. I didn't hear
a lot of Creole.
I don't think we heard Creole at all.
I think I heard it maybe once. And that was from like Wilkins or something, probably. To be quite honest with you.
But he's not Haitian.
He is Haitian. What are you talking about?
He is Haitian. I always forget that. No, I was thinking of something else. Oh well, whatever.
Okay.
Like Guatemala or something. Oh well. But yeah, he is. I always forget that.
Yeah. So yeah, Alexa Bliss. Okay, so at first I didn't understand the whole Alexa Bliss thing. But
you were annoyed at it.
I was annoyed at first. I was absolutely just like I was slightly annoyed with the whole thing. Like I guess when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck? I was annoyed at the fact like, what are they doing to Alexa Bliss? Like why out of nowhere? But then like she's playing it up, and she's been playing it up bit by bit, and it's been doing better and better and better. And like every time I see her, I'm like, yo, that's a Joker and a female. Like so like, and like. She's playing it up. She's doing it amazingly. And like when I saw that moment on Raw when she automatically just appeared on the turnbuckle and the fucking black blood started coming out, I was like, oh, okay. So like she has that crazy smile. Like I said it, she has the potential to show you a Joker smile. Like if she's looking at you menacingly and she smiles that way, it looks creepy as fuck. And I've said it a long time ago. She has a Joker smile.
Yeah, yeah.
So
wait, were you in your head about the idea of the character being on WWE TV or just her having the character? Like, what was your...
It was initially like, where the fuck did this character come from and why her? But then after a while, I was just like, obviously her, because she can obviously do it. And she's obviously she can do good at what she does.
Has mic
and that's what I'm saying. Like, once I really started thinking about it, I was like, okay, like, when I initially had my issues with it, literally almost immediately, maybe like a couple days later, I was like, okay, no, it makes sense. Because if there's somebody you should pick to do it, it is her. Absolutely. So, but I think the whole thing was cool. The whole way she was like fucking around with him, trying to like kill him and burn him, like shooting fire out of her fucking hands now, whatever.
That was great.
And like trying to make the fucking lights fall on him and all. So she just looks up and just goes... And then it fucking falls. Like that was really cool. He's like, "Are you trying to kill him?" It's like him playing it up too is really good. Yeah. And
it was so cute.
The fact that we have that we got our boy back, the Fiend, like Zombie Fiend, is now out.
Somebody said he looked like Chucky when he got burned.
A little bit. So like it was interesting. We're gonna see what happens. Because obviously obvious reasons. But I want to see how Alexa Bliss fully plays into it now with like the resurrection of the Fiend and all that stuff and whatnot. So it's gonna be interesting, that whole dichotomy between the two of them, and then to see. But then it's like, how does moving forward, Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
How do you get her out of, you know what I mean? How do you like transition her out? Does she die and come back as just Alexa Bliss, or does, you know what I mean? Like, or does she get exercised and, you know, she comes back as regular Alexa Bliss? It's a lot of things to play off of. So it's like, let's just see where this leads. You know what I mean?
It was all a dream.
He used to read Word Up magazines. Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I was hearing too, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't. It'll be real fucked up if we have like the ending. Remember, Vince's death that no one ever explained.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
This is gonna be the same explanation. It's gonna have the same. Nothing's gonna happen. They're just gonna come out with regular clothing 3 months later.
Probably.
Because I don't. It's a lot, but it's a lot. It's so many.
Yeah, it's hard to write somebody back in after this. So like, if I would probably say it would probably have to go with like some sort of exorcism angle or some shit down the line somewhere. Because honestly speaking, you gotta get him. You gotta have, because the whole thing is let him in. You know what I mean? So she let him in somehow in a certain way. So now like that's the way I see it playing out. Just like when Rey Mysterio died when he got thrown off of the fucking roof and whatever. So like, and that was recently.
He just reappeared back with his eye again.
Exactly. So I mean, obviously, suspend belief, like, you know, and just go with it.
It's gonna be so bad.
I've seen worse in Bollywood, so you know, like,
you know, it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be funny though, but it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah,
it's gonna be funny, but it's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be funny because it's the Fiend.
And I'll be real with you. I fully expected like a produced match for that one. And the fact that we didn't get a produced match, I was just like, okay.
It was, it was produced. It wasn't.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
It wasn't cinematic behind the scenes. Yeah,
exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Fastlane. Do you have any final thoughts on Fastlane?
I like how Retribution broke up. And
yes.
Like all beat up on dude. Like,
yeah.
I want him to have the title though. I want Ali to have the title.
He deserves the title. He's been really good lately. Over the past year, at least he's been really good. And I think he does deserve some type of title. I think just because Riddle won it and had that stupid ass fucking in between moment with Shinsuke.
High on a Scooter?
Yeah.
High on a Scooter. That's the name of my new show. High on a Scooter.
So yeah, I mean it's cool, but
he was really high.
No, he was high as fuck. I was like, yo, y'all literally let this motherfucker be that high on the segment.
Like, have a burnout on TV making money.
Bro, I think that's the same amount I probably was when we went to Vegas that first night and I ate those 3 plates of fucking chicken. I think I was probably past that point because we drank and we were fucking. You remember how I was about the fucking chicken?
Oh my god!
You're fucking crying about it, dude. That's how funny it was. Oh, this fucking chicken. So yeah, that motherfucker was that gone.
We just looked at you,
son. That chicken was mad good.
It's good, but
nah. No, obviously, but like no, that shit was mad good. That chicken, that Southern fried chicken from the MGM Grand Buffet. I remember specifically. That's where we were at. That shit was mad good. But it was definitely from that. It was definitely from that first day of doing Mashup. But either way, it went in Vegas, you know. But yeah, that's Fastlane, and we could move on to the to the randomness, whatever we have with AEW or whatever. What's up?
One last thing: are we really going to get another WrestleMania moment for Shane McMahon?
I hope not. We probably are though. Oh, one thing before we actually move on. Well, moving on from Fastlane to just regular WWE news. After Fastlane, Andrade Cien Almas, or Andrade, as people know him, was released by WWE. He was granted his release finally. He asked for it back early March, I believe, or something like that. And they finally granted his release. The caveat is actually he does not have a 90-day no-compete clause. So he could show up wherever the fuck. So he could show up in New Japan in April if he wants to. That'd be so
Ring of Honor.
No.
Ring of Honor.
No.
Just for like a week.
No.
Well, a week. Just for like 5.
For what?
You wouldn't watch if he popped up?
No.
Wow. I'm not saying sign there. I'm just saying pop up.
If he pops up, I guess, but like he should go to New Japan. I don't want him going back to CML. He should go to New Japan. Honestly speaking, New Japan, Impact, or
you want
AEW,
him to go
obviously.
to a whole new, a whole different country when he has a girlfriend. What is wrong with you?
B. Priestley and this dude and Will Ospreay weren't together for a long time.
So that's them.
Okay.
Don't try to break up the flares. We need.
Hey, fuck that. She's not gonna be a flare. She's gonna be a Cien Almas or whatever the fuck.
Right, whatever they're gonna call them.
Exactly. Like, it'll be Flair dashing or whatever the fuck. Yeah, exactly. There hasn't been any updates on what she thinks or what's going on. Like, I'm pretty sure he talked it over with her. Obviously, you don't ask for your release from the company that your fiance works for, without talking it over and all that stuff. And if he did, then it's just like,
use a dick.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's gonna stay in the U.S. Most likely. I could see him being AEW Impact. Like you said, Ring of Honor's there. So, and the fact that he has a non-compete means he could show up anywhere right now. Like, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. And also Charlotte is going to be in the reboot of Walking Tall or Standing Tall.
Reboot, you mean?
Yeah. Hey, listen, Peacock. The Peacock.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't either, but we need her not to be in the ring for a while. Like, she don't have no more accomplishments that she needs to do.
Oh no, absolutely. So I mean, go for it. Don't get me wrong. I
love the fact that they're making the female Hollywood star now, or trying, attempting, whatever. Yeah. You're not doing it yet. We don't know yet. It has to be in part 2.
But yeah, I think that's it with WWE. Like, wrapped up in a bow. Anything else? No.
No.
Because I want to get to the meat and potatoes, to be real with you.
What happened?
Our meat and potatoes. I want to get to that like as fast as possible. I need to talk about that. No, fuck that. I'm not talking about that meat and potatoes. I'm talking about the real meat and
Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had an unsanctioned.
Continue.
Oh my god, match was.
Oh, it was a sanctioned match, right?
Yes, it was lights out on Dynamite.
Okay.
They both were bleeding. They had thumbtacks.
Was that real?
Yes. Serena Deeb cut open from being stomped onto the steps.
Wait, Serena Deeb was there too?
No, not Serena Deeb. I meant Thunder Rosa.
Oh, okay. It was Thunder Rosa versus who?
Britt Baker.
Okay, so you just said the wrong name altogether.
Yeah.
Continue.
I just said Serena Deeb.
I was like, why Serena Deeb there? But yeah.
I couldn't help it. I was just watching NWA, and Camille won against Thunder Rosa for the number 1 contender of the NWA, which Serena Deeb has.
Okay, so what do you grade that match?
Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa might, A+. Yeah.
Let's see.
It's up there. It's. If you would have saw Twitter was basically going crazy. Twitter was just basically saying this is the Sasha Banks
highest rated women's match in U.S. history. Holy shit! I need to watch it. Yeah. Like I just need to watch it.
I watched it 3 times already. I watched the match 3 times already.
AEW put on perhaps the most violent women's wrestling match of all time,
and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that violent. Everything was connected.
On U.S. shelves. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's be real. We're talking about as far as the United States. Yeah. What's this fucker's thing?
Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, fucker.
He gave it a 4.5.
Okay, I mean that's fucking.
Yeah, he gave it a 4.
That's enough. Okay.
It's really good. Like I said, I watched it three times. I think maybe a 4th time I watched it because I watched it.
I remember you sent the text about it, but I think. I forgot what I was doing. No, I forgot what I was doing.
It was a Wednesday.
Yeah. I saw it like I saw.
Know when it's a Wednesday.
I don't. I really don't. Dude, I barely know my own schedule for work, man. I have to have people text me sometimes in the morning, you're early, like at 7 a.m. when I'm waking up, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad. Like, okay, cool. Or they're like, remember, you're late on Thursday. I'm just like, oh, okay. Even though I have it literally at my fingertips, like I get told by everybody, like, why don't you know your schedule? I'm like, because y'all remind me. If y'all stop reminding me, then I might get on it. But whatever. All right, so I'll definitely go watch that match because
everything just feels like a weekend with no school kids outside, right?
Damn, man. You should have really told me to watch the fucking match so we could have actually really discussed it. You should have been like, yo, watch the fucking match. And anything I say, watch the match. Did you watch the match? Did you watch the match? That's what you should have done. Because that's something now that, I mean, we can talk about it next week because I'm going to watch it. Like, for sure I'm going to watch it. So,
yeah.
Okay.
But come on, we don't never talk about, like, we know certain wrestlers are always going to connect. Like, Britt, she's just amazing. She hasn't looked bad too many times.
No.
And every time she just keeps getting better. And Thunder Rosa is Thunder Rosa. Like, she's one of the best right now that's not signed to AEW. Like, NWA is lucky to have her.
So she's still not officially signed to AEW? She's just working there?
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
So
I thought she was signed.
No.
Are you sure? Because I remember it said Thunder Rosa is all elite.
Maybe she. I remember saying that. I do not remember saying that. But no, she's not on the roster. I don't think she's on the roster. I do not think she's on the roster. Because she signed to NWA up until like 22 or some shit like that. So I don't know.
I guess not.
You see it? Or you don't see it on the woman roster?
Serena Deeb is, though.
That's who is. And she's the NWA champion. So there's some funny... There's not funny, but there's some funny...
No, it's smart. It's smart.
Yeah, there's some great business going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck. I did not know. I thought she was signed to AEW the whole time. Okay. Nope. All right. Cool.
She's just been repping hard, and that's part of the storyline between her and Britt.
That's what I fucks with, though. Like, that's what we should be doing. Like, that's what everybody should be doing.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is.
I like how it's so like she's there, but she's not there. Like, it looks like she's a part of AEW, but she's not. Like, I like that shit.
I thought she got signed the whole time. Because she shows up literally almost every week.
Yeah.
So I was like, so maybe she was just showing up. She told NWA, like, yo, I want to show up on, if you're not going to be doing shows, I'm going to be showing up there. And they were probably like, okay.
I don't want to lose her. Strong-armed them, but yeah, I think, something like that. I don't know.
She probably was like, yo, let me go work. I know I'm contracted to you, but let me go work. And I'm pretty sure they all talked about it. Yeah. AEW and NWA, because we had all this on it before. So it's not that relationship's been there.
I don't think.
The other way around. Sorry, no, wasn't he? Didn't he show up at one point? Nick Aldis?
No, he didn't. Aldis showed up on Ring of Honor with Marty Scurll.
Didn't Cody go fight Aldis for the belt?
That was at All In and the second show. That was
still either way. There's still a working relationship there that started obviously. Then. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Well, they had the woman Thunder Rosa. She showed up and she defended her title.
She did. I remember.
That's what happened. And her and Serena Deeb had a match there too.
Exactly. All right. Anything else on the randoms?
No, just Justice League, the Snyder Cut.
All right, so guys, ladies, anybody that's done with the wrestling stuff and doesn't care about the Snyder Cut or doesn't want to hear spoilers because it's a 4-hour movie, there's a lot to digest.
The rest of the podcast,
especially if you haven't seen Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Cut. On
there's
HBO.
One thing else we could talk about too. We could talk about Bow Wow being.
I don't give a fuck. It's you should really just stop the video here because we're gonna go into spoilers. If you don't care, you can stop the video here. If you haven't watched it yet,
how have you not watched it? It's been out since Thursday night.
People don't have the time. People work.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it yet,
or maybe the last part, the epilogue.
Spoilers. You should cut the video here. You've been warned.
Okay,
fairly, and we're gonna get into it. That's it.
That's enough. No more.
God, they need to let this man finish his vision on HBO Max. It's that simple.
Nobody wants to be a part of anything anymore. You know that.
It's that simple.
Henry Cavill doesn't want to be a part of it. He doesn't want to be a part of it.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think. Okay, this is my thing. One, the movie went from like a 5.5 to a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
when you first saw it,
let's just, huh?
And so when you first saw the movie, you said it was a 6.
When the shit movie came out, yes. When that Justice League shit
that was
came
a generous. That was a generous.
That was generous 6. Exactly. That, like, after watching this, that should be a 4. To be quite honest with you, because this movie. Okay, so for those people that say, "Oh, it's the same," no, it's not the same movie. First and foremost. Secondly, you cannot fit 4 hours of a movie into 2.5 hours and then make edits to make it more Marvel. Stop right then and there.
Would you have gone to the movie theater
to watch this? Absolutely, 100%. If this came out IMAX and the pandemic wasn't going on and they said, "Fuck it, let's do it," my ass would have been in there. I've watched it twice already.
I watched it a couple of times already.
Exactly. So what I did on Saturday, because I was just like so enamored, I'm still so enamored with it.
Out something.
Absolutely. I'm still so enamored with this shit to the point where on Saturday, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I could stream today on Twitch, but I was like, nah. I went on HBO Max. I played Man of Steel. I was like, fucking awesome. And I didn't like Man of Steel at first. No,
I like it.
It's awesome because it ties in with everything. Because if you really pay attention to the thematic elements, and this is where I'm going with it. I had this discussion with Brandon earlier with Beamart, and he was like, "Oh shit, I didn't think about that." The thematic elements are very, very important. So when you look at these 3 movies as a whole, it's technically speaking the story of Jesus. Let's start right there. Because
what 3 movies? Batman and Superman?
No, when you...
Is number 2?
Yeah. So when you look... Because that's a trilogy. That's the Superman Justice League trilogy. That is the Superman trilogy. So, that's crazy. So when you go from Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and Justice League, the Snyder Cut, that's... Those 3 movies, he said it himself, is a trilogy. And that's mainly about Superman and what's going on. So in the first movie, he starts setting up the preamble that, big words, I know, the preamble that that this motherfucker, Superman, when he was born, a miracle birth, because remember, Krypton was doing synthetic births for a long time. Like, nobody was born naturally anymore. So that was already a miracle. So pretty much, you're not born a virgin, but it's still a miracle that you were born at all.
It's a miracle birth.
Two, in the same movie, when he's putting Kal-El into the rocket to ship out, he's explaining to his wife, who was relenting on trying to keep him, and no, I didn't want to send him. He was like, "Yo, he needs to go. He's the fate of our species." Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way. But at the same time, when he picked Earth, he knew that he was going to be like a god to them. Exact words, he'll be a god to them. So he was, in fact, sending a god to Earth, technically, because he knew how the Kryptonian body takes in the solar cells of a main sequence star like ours. So a yellow star like ours in the main sequence, because you go from the little dwarfs all the way up to the red supergiants. That main sequence star, that's where they draw most of their power from. That's why they become godlike pretty much on Earth. So he knew he was sending a god to Earth pretty much. 3, same fucking movie. I still have one from Man of Steel. The whole growing up thing with his parents as a kid, when he saved them from the bus accident. From the bus accident, when he saved them as a kid, the woman that came in with the other kid that was bullying him on the bus, she was like, "Oh, it's a miracle," blah blah. Again, further establishing that he's like a godlike figure already at such a young age. So this is the thing, but it's not only about him on that case. For the conversation right after that, when he's on the swing set and his dad's talking to him and whatever, and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "What was I supposed to do? Let them die?" And he's like, maybe. It's already showing like the dichotomy, like, yo, as Jesus, like didn't really want him, like being too overexposed would have like, put him in trouble as a kid or whatever. So like it kind of lends credence to that. Now fast forward, obviously.
Please do.
To the next movie. Fast forward to the next movie. He's already a godlike figure. Yes, there was a whole shit load of destruction and all this and that. But then you start introducing other godlike figures. You start introducing Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which, in fact, she is 5,000 years old. She is a god. She's the daughter of Zeus and of fucking I forgot her name of her mother, obviously.
Bad. That's
but
what she is.
She's a god. She's theoretically speaking a god, or at least within demigod levels to god. She's like right there. So she is a daughter of Zeus. So you start establishing that and then when you really like look at the whole picture, once you get to and obviously Superman dies like fucking Jesus. So when he got stabbed in the heart, he fucking died with his arms out, you know, like just like fucking Jesus died on the cross, you know, according to the stories and whatever from the Bible and all that stuff. Moving on to the third movie, to the Snyder Cut, the real version. The other version needs to just be wiped off of the face of the earth and the internet and anything that exists, because that should never be watched again. Anybody who likes that is lying to themselves. After that, like, we get to this movie, so you start introducing Aquaman, you start introducing Flash, you introduce Cyborg.
Yeah.
Flash is Hermes. Aquaman is Poseidon. Wonder Woman you could technically count as Athena or Hera. And Cyborg. Batman is fucking Ares, bro. If you think about it, that motherfucker's a tactician. He came up with everything. He put everything together. So he's technically the god of war as a fucking mortal. He's the only mortal that could hang with the gods, technically.
Yeah.
So that just makes him even more of a badass, to the point where Aquaman, at one point in the movie, said when he landed during the final assault,
when he landed on the car,
when he landed, he was like, "Yo, you're fucking crazy," you know that? He just looks at him, and goes, just keeps driving. Doesn't say a word, just acknowledges it and keeps driving. So it's like little things like that. So, and obviously the rebirth, the resurrection of fucking Superman, and just that scene where the two very important scenes right after his rebirth, he shoots up into the air and has that shot of him from way below, and you just see him standing straight up. It reminded me of Dr. Manhattan, a shot from Watchmen, and it's eerily reminiscent of that. Like, God's back, pretty much. God is here. And it's the exact same shot you see in Watchmen, not the HBO series, but the original, again, by Zack Snyder. So he used that same type of shot, and it's the same.
Fucking forgot.
You fucking forgot, exactly. And it's kind of the same shot they have in the actual graphic novel itself. So that shot, that's very important, because it's like, oh shit, like, big fucking deal, he's back. And then after, you know, he dons the black suit and everything, and he goes up into space again.
I like that black suit.
He's in the T pose in front of the sun, drinking everything in, and he's in a fucking straight up in a Jesus pose on the cross, like, I'm fucking God, overlooking the earth with the sun in the background. It's like, what more visuals do you want, man? But besides that,
no, like, I don't want him to finish. I like how it is. I would like more,
bro. If you read what the storyboards were for Justice League 2 and 3, because this was the thing, he was only doing 5 movies, and that was it. That was it. He wasn't gonna do a whole Marvel thing. It was 5 movies. It was Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice, Justice League 2, and Justice League 3. That was it. There was a finish. There was an ending to the whole story. So that
he was basically making 2 trilogies, but not really.
No, exactly. So I thought that this was like just the beginning of phase 1, but when I read it, when I read it up, I was like, oh, there was only 5 movies, and that was it. That was it. There was only 5 movies. I was like, oh shit. So beyond all that, beyond all the God stuff and whatever, that's the one thing I love about what he did with this. Like, he portrayed them as gods. You could see them, like, when they were fighting, he had to slow it. People that were complaining about the slow motion, you have to slow it down when a god is fighting. Otherwise, you're not going to see shit. You're not going to see anything. When a god is moving at super speed, the first movie. It's going to look like, 1, the first movie, and 2, it's just going to look like the like the fucking constant thing.
Dragon Ball fighting.
And thank you. Perfectly said. That's exactly what I was getting to. So if you don't slow that shit down,
that is Dragon Ball fighting. That first, exactly. Even in the first movie.
And that's what you. Then that's my point. So when you get to this, him slowing it down was for more added effect. Like, yeah, these motherfuckers is gods. They can move this quick. Wonder Woman, that first scene, I was sure, just for added effect, he was going to have one of those bullets get through and hit somebody. Hit the girl that was sitting down. Look, I was nervous for it. I was like, oh, she's not going to get everybody. A kid's going to get hit. So, like, building just that little sense of drama in such a short scene, like in a short span of minutes.
In
like,
slow-mo.
Exactly. So people that are complaining about, 4 hours is too much.
I don't know nobody who's complaining.
And I mean, I seen it on the internet. People were complaining, but that's like literally the 1% that didn't like the movie.
I really wish that they would have broken it up in parts, except for the epilogue.
You couldn't. The way he did it, you really couldn't.
Oh no! I know it seems impossible, but you have to find a black spot, a fade.
Overall, I mean, the Fates of Black spot was probably like around the end of part 4, or maybe the end of part 3 at 1:55. That's not minute 55, an hour and 55 minutes. I told a lot of people like that's a good stopping point if you don't have the 4 hours, because it literally stops there. You could pick right back up. The other great thing about it for me, 4 hours
even
did not feel like
4
hours did not feel like 4 hours at all to me, not one bit. For you, it did, because you were up like an asshole at 3 a.m. Mm-hmm. I watched it at 10.
And I still couldn't watch this shit.
I watched it at 10 a.m. and I just went right through. Didn't even feel it. And I think it's mainly because of the way he broke it up. He broke it up as part 1, don't count on it, Batman. Part 2, this. Part 3, that. So, like, yes, it was a long movie, but, like, that breaking up in parts is like, okay, let me move on to the next chapter of the book. Because I've read books for fucking hours on end. So it felt like I was just reading a book, but obviously visually. So that's why for me it wasn't that much of a big deal.
So my next question is, what parts were bathroom breaks? Like, what part, like...
There was no bathroom break. For me, there's no bathroom break. Because for me, the thing is, when you really...
Not even making it a bathroom break, but more so, like...
Just pause and go use the bathroom?
Yes, where do you pause and come back at? Because I did that in between the stories.
So when you got to the chapter and it said chapter 4 and you would pause and go use the bathroom, that's perfectly acceptable.
And sometimes
he's literally giving you bathroom breaks if you need it. He gives you one right in the middle at an hour and 55 minutes. So like that's the thing about it. It is, you can break it up into parts. And for the people that don't have the time, I suggest stopping after, I think, chapter 3, if I remember correctly. Or I think it's after chapter. It's either after chapter 3 or chapter 4, but I know it ends at 1:55 because I checked.
Stop beating up your microphone.
I know, right? I know. It's just that this movie gets me so excited, but also angry that we're not gonna see more of it potentially. Like,
yes, oh my god!
Everyone's
on Twitter going crazy.
At this point, it's restored the Snyderverse. It's not even restored because it's that good. Okay, so I was talking to Brian. I was talking to a lot of people. If they want to finish it and HBO and Warner Media legit says, hey, we'll let you finish this. We'll let you finish this. No, it's 2. It's only 2 more movies.
Yeah, Justice League.
We'll let you finish this. And if everybody signs on board and is 100% committed, we'll let you finish this. I think they would for sure do it. Because do you have any idea how much money this shit would bring to HBO Max and Warner Media if they were to do this as an HBO original movie? Because that's what this was. That's what they released it as. An HBO original. That's
what
crazy,
this is. I know.
So if you actually let him film the rest of what he had, and I read some of the storyboards that he had planned for the next 2 movies, it's fucking crazy. And I want to see it. I made the mistake of reading it because I'm just like, fuck.
Is Granny Goodness in there?
No. But...
Okay, because they were saying, like, Lance Archer posted a picture of... one of the last scenes with Desaad and Darkseid, and they like the person on the far left, on Darkseid's far left, looks like Granny Goodness. Like everybody's pretty much going crazy on Twitter.
Oh, I didn't pay attention. She probably was in it, and I probably didn't notice. That's probably another Easter egg I completely missed.
Yeah.
So, and that's why you got to go back and watch. It's fucking 4 hours. You got to go back and watch this shit. And the thing is, I don't mind going back to watch the shit because it was that fucking good. Like, to me, and this is what I was talking to, I think 5 people confirmed the same sentiment I had. I was like, okay, not to shit on Marvel. Marvel had a great plan from when they started. They had it They had it planned out. They had a multi-year plan. Clearly had like a 10-year plan, obviously. And they got to Endgame. It was fantastic. The payoff was great. I loved it. I came out of the theater like this.
So
like,
what you're saying? So what you're saying is,
wait, let me finish. I came out of the theater like I had the exact same feeling finishing this movie like in 3 movies compared to 23 movies. Again, not their fault. That was their plan. Obviously, you want to make a shit ton of money.
That's the plan. That's the whole plan is bait and hook.
You know, it's on money. Obviously, bait and hook, like you said. He did this in 3 movies. He did this in 10 hours, technically, compared to he gave me that feeling, I would say, in 10 hours compared to 23 times 2.5, 3 hours for each fucking Marvel movie. That's a lot of hours. For you to give me that same amount of
how many movies I hate? Well, not hate, but how many Marvel movies I don't like?
There's quite a few.
There's
but
at least
honestly,
5.
the other thing I will say about Marvel, you have to watch it in its actual... Not to get into Marvel, you have to watch it in its actual chronological order, not when they got released. So the chronological order, starting with Captain America. From there, you go to Captain Marvel, and it makes sense. It's better.
Yeah, I know.
It's better if you watch it
Captain Marvel, Captain America. I just never cared for him.
I know, but it's better if you just watch it that way in actual sequence. But either way, the movie was phenomenal. I'm probably gonna end up watching it again sometime this week. I'm not gonna lie to you, or just have it playing in the background because it's that good.
And I love how gritty it is.
Yeah. Oh, so much blood, so much shit. Yeah. Steppenwolf looked amazing. Yes. Steppenwolf looked amazing. They gave him a legit backstory instead of like a generic ass. Oh, I'm a bad guy here to destroy your Earth. No, he was trying to restore whatever fuck up he did against Darkseid. They didn't really go into detail of it, but they did enough to the point where he's trying to 50,000 worlds.
Planets. Yeah. Worlds, yeah.
It's like, what did you do, bro? Like, how much did you fuck up?
That's not just
because there was a betrayal. That's what I'm saying. There was a betrayal. They don't go into it, but there was a betrayal. When Diana was talking about the history of the first time when Darkseid came to the planet 5,000 years prior. That's a big fucking deal. And the overall like actual exposition over the shit. You saw the old Green Lantern. You saw Zeus, Ares, Artemis in the mix. You saw all them like
Artemis was there?
Yeah, the bow and arrow. She was the one shooting the shit. Like, and that, So, like, you saw the old gods.
Yeah,
you saw the fucking, you saw the old gods. You saw the fucking Atlanteans. You saw, and everybody working together. It was so epic. And, like, just the little things. Like, when the fucking, when the Green Lantern got killed, and like the fucking ring came off,
and he
went to grab it, and it just shot off because he couldn't grab it because of Zeus. If you paid attention, Zeus was hurling some of the thunderbolts, kind of like Shazam was in the Shazam movie. So it kind of lends to that more too.
Or was that Shazam? But
no, it wasn't Shazam. But there's so many little things here and there that add so much to it. Just the whole Barry Allen and Iris West thing, like.
That was
that whole thing.
That was so cute.
Yeah. And just like the little added details, like put it this way.
How he run out his sneakers like that?
1, I mean, because he's too fast. 2, you know when they literally say running out of your sneakers, like you're so fast that you ran out your sneakers? He disintegrated them shits.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, what he going to do next?
Just that little thing where he just fucking goes through the fucking glass just like that.
The glass, yes.
Just with touching it. So, like, the one thing I really wanted to touch on is that
and
Brandon
that stupid
really
ass
pointed
hot dog.
out. No, that was funny. But because that's Barry Allen. That's the Flash. That's how he is. If you watch everything else.
He was so damn awkward this whole movie, and I liked it.
But that's how he is. And he grows more, and he becomes more and more, like, confident in himself overall as his story goes on. But the thing is, with this whole thing...
Michael Cera could have been him.
No, stop it.
Not that awkward?
Awkward? No, we don't need it that awkward. We need it funny awkward to certain points. We don't need it like... Not that Michael Cera ain't funny, but we don't need it full awkward. Never go full awkward.
Never go full awkward.
Yeah. But my main thing is the way. So Brandon pointed it out. He's like, "Yo, did you notice this one little detail?" I was like, "What?" He like during that exact same scene. He was like, "If he would have caught Iris out of the fucking air just like that, he would have fucking killed her." That's why he had to gently like actually bring her down slowly. And I was like, I did not catch that. He was like, he had to cradle her right then and there. Because I was like, why didn't he just grab her? No, because she would have, all those G-forces would have killed her. And I was just like, oh shit, it's little things like that you're just like, what the fuck? The whole cyborg story.
Getting his pushing back her right.
So putting her back right, bringing her arms in to help protect against the G's that are being forced. Cradling her in, it's just like those things. I was just like, yo, when he pointed that out today at work, I was like, I didn't think about that. Oh, that's fucking crazy. The other thing that I was just saying that I really lost my place with, shit, what was I saying? I don't think it was about Barry. I forgot what it was.
Cyborg.
Yeah, Cyborg was a fucking main character of the whole movie.
It was his movie.
Yeah, it was his movie. And this is, like, I understand wholeheartedly why he was pissed off about the fucking Justice League, to be honest with you. Because, dude, this shit, he was so integral to the plot that it's like, you wrote out the most important plot points. What the fuck?
And it's all his movie.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Not fully all his movie, but he played one of the main roles.
He was the main, he was one of the main roles
because it was getting him on board overall.
And then he's also walking around the whole damn city with the mother box, which is the main
mother box. Yeah,
and the main item.
That's the last one he had exactly. The other thing is Aquaman was so much better in this movie compared to the other ones. He seemed dumb and goofy in the other ones, even in his own movie. In this one,
he was like that. He had his other movies.
Everybody had their backstories, man, and their backstories were more fleshed out. Fucking Batman's Ben Affleck, like his fucking thing was so much more.
You found
out
how stupid and crazy he is. Well, not stupid, but crazy.
Than that silly ass fucking Batman that we got from the Justice League. Like I don't like who in WB in charge.
He didn't like it. He didn't. I think I would feel like
who didn't like it. Who was in charge of the
WB? I don't even think Josh wanted to do it. I think he wanted to do his own thing.
They just brought him in.
Sense. Yeah,
I mean that's why he did. He rewrote a lot of scenes.
Yeah, just call me the editor.
Yeah, and it was just like, dude, what the fuck? So
I would rather just be called the editor.
The thing is, this movie was supposed to be released in 2 parts. It was supposed to be like Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame. It was supposed to be like that. But they just, like, Zack Snyder, he had that horrible death in the family from his daughter, that she took her own life. That compounded on WB being impatient and wanting to cash in real quickly and make it more Marvel, and not giving support. Like, for Christopher Nolan, who created the Dark Knight trilogy, to tell Zack Snyder, never watch that movie. Ever. That says enough.
Do you think he can watch it now? Do you think he should or could watch it now?
Never.
Because I don't think it would make a difference now.
It would, because it's like...
This is the shit that you gave the world?
It's a slap in the face. This is my
version of...
It's a slap in the face.
Yeah, it is.
And he already knows how bad it is. He already knows how bad it is from everyone else telling him not to watch it. Let's be real. What we got here was the original vision. Did I expect it to be this good? No. I was hoping it would be, but the fact that this shit blew me out of the water so much in terms of how everything coalesced between the 3 movies, which is why I saw the 3 movies again back to back to back on Saturday, I was just like this afterwards, like, I need more. Yeah. I need this to be properly finished. Like, I need it to be properly finished, like, legit, because, again, the shit I read, you never say never, because they said the shit would never come out. They said it would never come out. Money talks, bro. Shit changes. If the money's right and if everybody's on board and they do it as an HBO original, it's possible. Don't tell me it's not possible, because clearly it's possible.
So that means they would also have to put out the Batman, because the Batman was a part. The Batman with Ben Affleck was supposed to be a part of that as well.
You don't even gotta put it, because Zack Snyder's thing is only 5 movies. Yes, the Batman was supposed to be part of it. I know. It's supposed to be part of it. So was Flash, because Flash is the only one that's really part of this. after and Aquaman 2
that's
whenever
the only
the fuck
one
that
that's
comes
coming
out.
out.
But Zack Snyder's 5 movies were the ones I just mentioned. Everything else was was leading into that or was going to be part of that. But Zack Snyder's 5 movies, you don't necessarily need Batman, the Batman movie. I mean, you kind of do with the whole fucking
that's the only one. That's
thing.
really the only one.
That's really the only one you really need with the whole Deathstroke thing, and maybe the Flash movie. But beyond that,
Flash, I'm not counting the Flash because we were already going to get that.
But this is the thing: you don't know if in the future
they might change it.
He could retro and tie it, and they might be like, okay, it kind of did set up your movie. So your other 2 movies. So it's like, but the other thing is, you set up your other 2 movies. Let's just beyond everything else. That scene between the Joker and Batman at the end of the movie. I was about
to ask you about that. Yeah, because wait, even before that, like, so how do you even get there? Like, what happens now? Like, there's so many different worlds, like Earth 1, 2, and 3, or whatever. Like, where do we go now? Because
what you saw at the end is what you saw in Batman vs Superman. So remember when he had that nightmare vision of him fighting against, like, you know, Superman,
and then
like,
he woke
or whatever,
up and Barry was there.
And Barry was there saying Lois is the key and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What you saw at the end of Justice League of the Snyder Cut is that actually playing out. Like, yes,
that's 2 and 3.
Yes, that's what you see there. That's part of the second movie. The second movie was predominantly supposed to be Darkseid comes back and fucks everybody up.
With them stupid ass flies?
Yeah, with the parademons. Like, he comes back and actually fucks everybody up. He failed the first time. Somehow the anti-life equation, he comes back and he fucks everybody up. Because it's supposed to take place, I think, like maybe a year or 2 later, some shit like that. Like, after the Justice League is more known and this and that, and they actually have their Hall of Justice. And they actually have this and that, and they're actually the Justice League. That's why in the things you see the Justice League's all broken and shit. Because, he has Batman's cowl and everything. He has fucking, there's the dead Green Lantern. There's a fucking, like, all these things.
They're talking about Aquaman is dead. Yeah,
they showed Aquaman dying. They showed Diana's dead at the same time. So, like, they showed her burning on a pyre, and the parademons were around that. And, like, you know, all the Amazons were watching, you know, we're at the funeral, and the parademons were watching that.
That was like crazy.
All of that stuff happens after this, because back in Batman vs Superman, and that's why they called to it again, when he was sitting there right before the final assault, he was just like, he was looking to his left, and he said, he was like, I'm just remembering something. And he was going back to what happened with Barry coming back and telling him Lois is the key, because that is still gonna happen. So then at the same time, going back to that moment between Joker and Batman, he tells him, how many times in how many universes is this your fault because you refused to die? Because if he died instead of Lois dying, which is what happens, you see Superman holding a skeleton, Lois gets hit by Darkseid's Omega beams. He kills Lois because Batman is distracted during an argument with Lois about Superman and things that happen externally. Like, supposedly he was supposed to get her pregnant. That's what the thing was, because they were both lonely. They struck up, and like, if you don't believe me, check it out. It's out there on the internet. That was part of the storyboard.
I'm not checking it out, but I know how.
But she dies. Superman's vulnerable, and he takes over Superman's mind. So now Superman's under his control. So that's essentially what happens, and that's all the movie 2. Movie 2 is a whole nightmare thing. And the movie 3 was supposed to be 5 years after the nightmare thing. Them trying to get Barry Allen to go back and fully explain to him, like, yo, you have to sacrifice your life for Lois Lane. Otherwise, while Doomsday is attacking, otherwise, this shit repeats itself all over again.
Man, fuck Lois Lane.
I mean, I would. But, I mean, either way, no, and that's how it's supposed to play out. So it's supposed to have some sort of Infinity War Endgame vibe at the same time, but it actually does end up finishing. The third one is definitely the last one. And can I just say, just that exchange was beautiful. Like, just the little small mannerisms of fucking Jared Leto as a Joker. We saw what he was really intended to do.
Oh my God.
And the way when fucking Batman was just like, He's like, yo, I promised Harley Quinn when she was dying in my arms that I would fucking kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. I was just like,
slow.
Oh, and then he took the card from him, and then like just the shake, the fucking him just holding the thing and just shaking real quick because it got to him, and then he was like, he almost had me. I was just like, ooh, I was like, yo, this exchange was so crazy. I was just like, it was one of the most intense scenes I'd ever seen. I'm like, if we would have gotten that Joker, man.
Oh my god! Yeah,
man.
Like so that Batman, that Joker connection. Bro. They have a great fucking connection off that little ass scene.
Just that little ass scene sets up so much. It's like because he talks to you like, yeah, he knows love lost. He's like, why did you send in a boy to fucking come fight me? Talking about Jason Todd. It's like, yo, like, and then back and forth, like it was just, that back and forth was so crazy, man. And then the Martian Manhunter thing. It's like, bro, where the fuck were you this whole time, you jerk? Like,
this whole time
you weren't here. You could have came. You could have came help. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
There were so many memes about that. I was just like, you're a piece of shit, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, he's such a piece of shit.
I was like, you're fucked up. You could have helped with Doomsday. You could have helped with Doomsday. You could have helped with Doomsday. You were watching the whole shit unfold. You could have helped with Doomsday. Nobody would have known who the fuck you were. You could have helped with Doomsday. And then you could have helped against fucking Steppenwolf. You're an asshole. Again.
Maybe he did help. Maybe he read somebody. He was playing with somebody's mind. You never know.
I digress. It might, whatever he had in the works for Justice League 2 and 3. I obviously involved him. Obviously involved like a Lantern because by Justice League 2.
Yeah, the Lantern was supposed to be in that last scene at the house.
Exactly. That was supposed to be the Green Lantern. That was supposed to be
instead of
Manhunter. Yeah. So yeah, man, I just want him to finish.
And he was saying he was not taking the job from another black person. I was like, wait, what does that have to do? He was on a whatchamacallit, on a doing some kind of interview, and he said that. I'm like, I get it.
Take it next time, even if it's like one line. Yeah, take it.
I love it.
Take it.
I love it because he wanted Jon Stewart, which is the black character.
I want to watch it. Yeah, he wanted Jon Stewart. Yeah. I hope.
I thought one thing that threw me off was I thought that Flash jumped the timeline.
Oh, it seemed that way. It seemed that way
because when he was running around before he got clipped.
Oh yeah, it definitely seemed that way. I was like, did you go too far? Because like he wasn't past the speed of light, so that's the only reason I didn't think he did. Because they showed when they first revived Superman, when he got to the speed of light to generate enough to get to near the speed of light, I didn't realize that when the shit was falling and it touched the water, he was going so fast. When it came back up, it was actually reversing the time like he did at the end of the movie. Yeah. I was just like, when that happened, I only caught that the second time I watched it. I was like, oh, he was reversing time that time. I was like, why did it go back up? I was like, what the fuck? But when I really thought about it, I was like, I replayed that scene fucking like 5 times when he just put his hand out and went, I was just like,
I was
no, I knew he was reversing time there, obviously, but like that first instance where it started reversing, I didn't peep that for a second. So
that was nice, but I don't know. It looked like the parademon actually like hit him while he was running.
Oh no, he did clip him.
Yeah, he did, but it looked like it like pushed him a little bit further.
Okay, I get what you mean.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah. Flash is man. I just want to know like where they go if they're gonna keep Flash. Like Flash is the only one that they're keeping out of this collection of people. I don't.
The thing is, it's supposed to be Flashpoint Paradox, so it's supposed to open up the other Batman that's coming out. It's supposed to open up the new Superman that's going to be being worked on.
That's going to be
it's like it does open up those avenues to create those different. I mean, this Flash already showed up on the Flash in CW.
Yeah.
So it's not like they haven't already crossed this over. They had the Crisis on Infinite Earths already. They had the Batman come back.
We're going to get the Superman from Smallville.
We are at one point. Because he showed up on that too, on Crisis on Infinite Earths, on CW. He showed up. So it's not like they're not putting this all together for it. So like, yes.
He's going to be like the new movie Superman.
I guess. I don't think they're going to pick a different Superman.
I don't think they're going to do Superman.
But either way, man, This fucking Snyder Cut was good. It's what we deserved. It's what everybody deserved.
It's my god, I hated Cyborg's helmet. Like his mask when he was flying. I hated it.
Oh, I was fine with it.
Yeah. Whatever. I hated it.
Either way.
I like how he didn't look too much like Iron Man.
And the one thing I really did like, sorry, my whole thing is just like, the one thing I really did appreciate, just the one little detail from the Atlanteans. If you notice, when they talk in the bubble, they speak in regular actual tone. But when when I think Mira went to go talk to them and didn't do the bubble at first, she was doing like dolphin squeaks and whatever, and they were replying in like dolphin squeaks and like and all that shit. And I was just like, that is dope. I was like, it's those little details, bro. Just shit like that. It's like that puts it so far above. 15 minutes into this movie, I knew 100% it was already
this was going to be better. Yeah. Once it was so much longer and we weren't fucking sped through all of the other scenes. Like that other movie is just a speed through of so much shit that we've missed.
Hold on, you desynced real quick. Give me a second. Back after a quick desync. No, but it's just. I mean, I'm pretty much trying to wrap this up because I don't want to keep like going because I could talk about this shit for hours.
No, like I watched this like 5 times already.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's that good to the point where you could just continue watching this shit over and over. It's like
we do have
at the end of the day.
The first thing that bothered me.
What did bother you?
Other than the intro, because that intro was stupid. Like just the names popping up, like the regular the snow entrance. Like they're going up to whatchamacallit, the Fortress of Solitude, whatever that snow entrance is. It was just
what snow entrance?
It wasn't snowing, but they were like out in. It looked like they was out in Alaska or some shit. It was the intro of the movie.
Oh, you're talking about when he went to Iceland? That was Iceland,
yes,
bro. That wasn't no Fortress of Solitude. That was just to go talk to Arthur Curry.
Yeah, I forgot that. But either way.
What about it?
I didn't care for it. And I know it's a long journey, so it was a long intro. I get it. I didn't. It annoyed me. But
it reminded me of the part in Batman Begins where he's making the climb up the first. That's why I was. And it kind of is a callback to that. So I was just like, I'll leave it. I'll accept it. So
it reminded me more of the Night's Watch, Game of Thrones.
I'm fine with that too. Because up to a certain point, it was a great fucking show, and then
and then it wasn't anymore for 5 episodes.
They ate it. Fucking bastards.
They fucked up bad.
No, but
4-3, the 4-3.
Oh, I love it. I loved it.
I hated it for the first half an hour
because you weren't used to it. That's why. And then once you, for me, it took maybe 5 minutes to adjust to it, and that was it. Like the way I saw it when I was watching that, for me, what I was seeing was this. Like I was seeing the whole thing.
I didn't have to adjust to it. It just annoyed me on and on for the first half an hour. After the first half an hour, I was like, I like it, but I want to see more. But at the same time, I like it because
he's focusing you. He's focusing you.
This is the
giving you the visuals, and it was fucking awesome. It's still awesome. I'm probably gonna play it after the podcast because this is the shit, and I want to watch it again. And yeah, man, it was so good. And I hope somehow, some way, we at least get 2 and 3 somewhere down the line. If I doubt it's gonna happen, but again, they doubted the Snyder Cut, and it actually came out. You never know.
They're not shooting a whole movie. This was just reshoots that another company paid for.
But look at the overall. Not critic acclaim, the fan acclaim. If you get more subscriptions, if you tell us in a year that you decided to greenlight Justice League 2 and 3,
they better shoot that shit back to back.
HBO stock is
they better shoot that shit back to back,
and they have to treat it that way.
Because I don't want to watch it because it's not that I don't want to watch it. I wouldn't. I'm gonna care, but not the same way that I care today when those 2 movies actually come out.
I'm gonna care.
No, I'm not saying I'm
because
not
because I want the story to actually finish.
Yeah, but one thing that I really got tired of, like during this coming out, was all of the fucking trailers.
I only watched the first one, and that was it. I didn't watch the other ones.
They just kept making more trailers, and they kept, last week was the last trailer. It's like, shut the fuck up and give me the movie.
I mean, that's what you gotta do to hype it up more.
You don't have to, though.
I hope to God. I mean,
if it comes out in
business,
5 years,
bro.
yes,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Drive the business.
It's gonna have to.
I think in 5 years it'll be too late. They need to do it within the next 3 years. They need to greenlight it in the next 3 years.
If they greenlight it, they would have to greenlight it now. Because if they greenlight it and say they greenlight it on
production in like a year or two, or something, absolutely.
Yeah, if they greenlight it in year 3,
within 12 months of this coming out, it has to be greenlighted for it to actually become a reality. But then again, like we said, the Snyder Cut wasn't a thing that we were supposed to get. We got it. We could only hope we're gonna get the actual story fleshed out and finished as it's intended. And like
Steppenwolf got his ass whooped.
Oh, and guess what? Gal Gadot, Diana, went for the head. Thor,
I saw that. I watched that shit 3 times before I noticed that. Yeah, I was like, that's what she did. She just didn't kick his ass.
She cut his head off.
She kicked him and cut that shit off. I was like, okay.
By the way, my favorite subtle shot, and I don't know if it was actually a subtle shot to like the other Justice League that came out, but when fucking Cyborg was about to try to like hook up with the mother boxes and try to split them, and Steppenwolf was about to axe him, and Superman just went ding. He just looked at it.
Yeah, that was great.
And looked up, and he was like not impressed. I was just like,
whatever.
I was like, is that a shot? I was like, is that a shot? He just went.
It should be perceived as one.
And I will say 100%, this is the only Superman I'm a fan of. And I'll accept. Because the way it was laid out, the way the story was told, I actually became a fan of this Superman. 100%.
I never cared of any of the
I never cared for Superman until this
The TV show one.
No, not at all. Even though the TV show in fucking 97, great. It was fucking awesome.
Lois and Clark. I never cared about any of them.
I never really cared, but this trilogy made me give a shit, and I was like, wow. And also, like, it's due to the actor and bringing him out and actually, playing the part as well. But the writing is also the writing and the plots. It's just all.
Yeah, because he's a good actor, but I never really cared about. I only cared about one other thing. I only really spoke about one other thing that he did.
It's just fucking awesome, man. Like, fuck. I just want the last.
This was like this is a 7-year journey?
No, 3-year journey. This was 2017.
That first Batman I'm talking about. I mean, the first
2013? Yeah. 2013, 2014, I think it came out. So, yeah.
7, 8, yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking, oh, man. I'm about to go watch it again. But we don't want to take your time. Anybody that was here.
It's so dark and gritty.
It's so good,
even just watching it, I'm watching it now. But like,
you motherfucker.
I just turned it on, but it's just so gritty.
It's so good. Oh man,
I think something happened with the film where they only can show the 4:3 and not the widescreen.
No, that's how he made it. Let's be real. That's how he made it. The other thing, the only one drawback, there was bad CGI when they were running away from Steppenwolf. When they got on the horses. In the beginning, in Mascara, when they were running away, that's the only real bad takeaways I could really.
What happened?
There was some. There was some funky CGI when he came for the first mother box and with the Amazons. There was some funky CGI with the horses. I was like, but overall, for what was a fantastic movie, I can really I could forgive that any day. To be quite honest with you, like. Everything else about it was fantastic, honestly. Again,
I'm so happy this is the last
9.5 out of 10. If it is the last one, then hey, we left off. We got what we got. I'm pretty sure as I keep watching it, my rating is just gonna go up and up, getting closer. Yeah, I can't give it a perfect because of that CGI in my head, and there was like some rough transitions, but besides, like 2 or 3 I could count max, and I don't really remember, but I remember seeing them. But besides that, like, fuck, man. Fuck. I love it. I love it. And anybody that hated on it, you don't know cinema. Those who hated on it don't know cinema, don't want to hear your shit, or you're a Marvel fanboy. That's it. or fangirl. That's it. And that's all I have. Is that all you have?
Movies are to be enjoyed.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. Movies are to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching
this. And it's all relative
I'm
to whoever.
enjoying watching this.
Again. But yeah.
Again.
So, if you were with us through the entire thing, thank you for staying with us. If you agree with us, hey, leave it in the comments for sure. Or, reach out to us on Twitter if you're listening to us on any of the streaming services. So with that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and for listening. You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes, myself at _Mr. Alex25 _ the guy on the other side at
NU_KLA.
KEWLA. You didn't say W. You said KLA.
I did say that wrong, didn't I? Wow. Yeah. That,
you want to try it again? Right there. You want to try it again?
NU_KEWLA. There we go. We go.
On Facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes. On Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast. Obviously on the audio streaming on podcasts. On Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Transistor FM. Check out the link tree below to have access to our Redbubble, Threadless, and Teespring sites. And once again, thanks for watching.
Also, the listening. Patreon.
And the Patreon, yes. We have to update
thank
that.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Sam,
she what?
She signed up.
Oh,
she signed up.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiny B. Yeah. But inside joke. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Go watch the Snyder Cut if you haven't watched it. If you are to this point and you haven't watched it, I'm sorry. We told you that you should have stopped the video at a certain point. You didn't. That's your fault.
I need it in.
Go watch it again. Go watch it again.
I need the full screen.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No,
I'm being greedy.
You're being a little bitch. That's what you're being.
No.
You're being entitled. You're being an entitled little bitch. That's what you're doing.
You know the worst part? I was trying to watch it and trying to see if I could just take out
yeah, go fuck yourself. With that, with that bullshit. Thank you. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace.